Yo, guys, what's up, and welcome back to the Marvelous Chats podcast. This is episode 174. Tonight on the cast is myself, Finto, and Alex, aka Zaberwolf. We're going to be talking about Peacemaker Season 2, Episode 1, and we're going to be talking about Alien Earth and a few other nerdy bits in between. If you're new to the channel, make sure you hit the subscribe button and leave us a comment below if you're watching a replay. Let us know what you think. Without further ado, here we go. Yo.
Hey, what's up, man?
What's up, dude? How are you?
I'm pretty good. How are you doing?
I'm good, man. I'm good. It's been a couple of weeks. We haven't sat down. I haven't really spoke to you much at all either. So, how have you been? How's things? How's the last few weeks been?
Just been busy with work. Haven't really had a chance to do anything in particular. Just taking care of things around the house and just vegging out once in a while. So,
that's
a lot of things going on here and there. So, just wanting to essentially just chill. I felt like I was burning out at work too. So,
yeah,
I had to take some time off.
Man, I think I took 2 weeks off work and we went to Portugal for a week, which, I have 2 kids, so while it was great, it wasn't like really a holiday either,
Yeah.
But it was nice to be in the sun, and my parents came as well, so we had a bit of backup as well, so it didn't rely just on us. But it was great to travel, and yeah, it went off pretty much without a hitch. Day one of me returning to work, so I came back on the Sunday night, so this is last week. So last Monday was my first day back. And I got car trouble on the way to work on my first day back. One of the springs in my car snapped. And I was just like, this is absolutely insane. My first day back in work, I was in Portugal 24 hours before, enjoying the last day of the holiday, and boom, the next day I'm no car, stuck on the side of the road waiting for AAA to come and get me and all this stuff. And I was just like, this is just yin and yang. It was just horrendous,
Yeah.
But it is what it is. I got the car back this Monday. It took me a week to get the car back, and it's running great now. But it was money I didn't need to spend the day after my holiday. Let's just say. So yeah, literally, I got paid this Monday, and already I'm kind of trying to budget stuff and everything, because I'm €1,000 down on what I would normally be down. So I'm just yeah, it's going to be a fun couple of weeks ahead. But hey, Dan in the chat, your car was just jealous it didn't get to go on vacay. Do you know what actually happened? I came home with probably about maybe €500 or €600 more than I thought I was going to come home with, and I thought to myself, oh, I'm going to put this money towards building another rig, my second PC. And the second I had that thought, my car outside went, yeah, right. And they literally decided to snap the next morning. So yeah, can't have any nice things.
Nope.
Just when you think life's going good, bro, it's always the way. You get your debts settled and your credit cards paid off and everything, and then it's boom, here's another one. Here's another payment for you. So yeah, movies and stuff wise, it's been good. Content's been quite good while we've been gone. We've had Peacemaker, Alien Earth's been come out. There was I went to see Interstellar in IMAX on the weekend. I don't know if you know, but they're doing a run of all of Nolan's movies in IMAX, re-releases. So I only found out about it late, and when I went on to look, because I was running to Interstellar because it's my favorite movie of all time, and I went, and literally every single seat in the theater was sold out, because it was one showing only, and I was genuinely upset. I was like, I can't believe I missed this. Oh my god! And then I went away on did my week away, and just before that, I was texting a few of my friends saying that I had heard that they were going to be re-releasing a small little re-release of the F1 movie in IMAX. So I said to two of my friends, I was like, guys, if they re-release this, we're going to go. It's incredible. You got to see it in IMAX. It's an experience, And literally went on to check it when I came back, because I checked it before I left, and a lot of the times were blank, they weren't updated fully. So I was thinking, I'll check it when I get back. And I checked it, and there was a second showing of Interstellar added, because obviously there was such high demand for those seats, but half the theater was still empty. So obviously nobody knew that they were adding this second show, and I just by chance got really good seats as well. And it was an experience, man. Again, I've seen the movie probably 10 or 15 times since it came out, but I've never seen it in IMAX, and it was as if I was watching it for the first time. It was so good.
Oh yeah,
Absolutely
man.
incredible. Yeah. Yeah, it's what cinema's all about, man. So yeah, I was so chuffed to get to see it. Um, but yeah, like just other than that, like I'm trying to think stuff that has happened since we spoke last. I don't really know. Um, I got a little Doctor Doom mask. You can see him sitting right here.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, dude.
yeah, it's cool. My comic book shop relocated and they opened up a bigger store, and I went in on the weekend just to kind of check it out. And usually there was like a price hike recently, maybe like about a year or two ago in comics. Like they put them up by like an extra euro an issue. So my comic book shop were saying if you order variant covers of comics, we'll give you €1 in credit. So I do order quite a few variant covers. So I built up enough money to pretty much just buy that mask for free. So like I was just like, how much is this mask? And they were like 120. And I was like, how much store credit do I have? And she was like scanning my comics for like this month, like, and she's like, well, when I'm done with this stack, you'll have enough for the mask. And I was like, perfect. So I got the mask for free technically, which
Oh
is
yeah.
epic. Yeah, so it's really cool. So yeah, I what I'd love to do is I'd love to get, and I don't know if this room is big enough where I am right now, but I'd love to get like a big glass display case, and I'd put all my masks in a display case because I've got two downstairs and I've got like four or five in this room here. So I'd love to just display them all beside each other. I think it'd be sick. Be really cool.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
We
Um.
don't have much room in terms of like what we've got here. Like it's still pretty kind of close up. So like we just kind of have our essentials, board games and whatnot, the TV
Mhm.
and everything.
Yeah.
Um, I have all of my other stuff in storage, so like probably not going to get anything out until maybe like a bigger house or maybe even just a second home.
Nice. Hell yeah, dude. Um. Yeah, we have like in our sitting room, like we've got the TV, and we didn't buy a big like kind of entertainment unit. We kind of built one ourselves just by buying different pieces, and like
Mhm.
it was just like poetry, bro. It all just slotted into the wall perfectly. Like there's just enough space for like the plugs to sit into the wall. Like that's how close it is. And it by chance just happened. I went on like three different trips and bought three different pieces of furniture from IKEA, and they all just magically just fit together. And it actually looks like a kind of custom built unit. It was just
Mhm.
poetry. And I have like there's a bookshelf to the right of our TV, and I have a few bits like I have a Anakin lightsaber from Episode 3 in a display case, and she's got a lot of books and stuff like that, and I have a few books as well. And then I have a couple of masks. I have like an Iron Man and an Iron Spider sitting on the roof of it as well, on the top of the shelf too. It's really cool.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, I would love three times the space that we have.
Yeah,
There's not
definitely.
enough space. Like there never will be, never will be. Um,
No, that's always going to be the dilemma, and that's what really sucks. Even if like I feel like that's partially why like millionaires, even billionaires, like they just buy so much stuff,
mhm.
and then they have to like house it, and then they
Yeah,
have to buy more shit to house
yeah.
that stuff.
Well, like you can't see here, but like to my right here, I have like 11 or 12 long boxes full of comic books, and again, they probably should be stored somewhere. And I was looking into like getting like a storage unit, but
Mhm.
it's like $100 a month, and they were like, like, would you be interested? And I was just like, it's like I would love if they would do like a kind of like a lifetime plan or something like that, like because it's like I was like, if I pay, like, if I move stuff into a storage unit, it's most likely going to stay there forever, right? Like, or for a long time, like, you know what I mean? It's not going to be there for a year or two. Like, what would be the point then? It's going to be
Right.
there permanently, and continue to grow. I'd be like, as I'm filling other long boxes, I'd be throwing them into the unit as well. So I was just like, look, I'm not paying $100 a month for the rest of my life to store this stuff. Like, it's just not. It's a bit idiotic. Like, so um, they do these like kind of outdoor offices over here. I don't know if it's like a big thing where you are, but the you can build these like kind of like outdoor sheds, but like they have like insulation and like wooden floors and stuff like that. And a lot of people are like doing them to build their own home offices or their own home workplaces and stuff like that. And I was
Mhm.
thinking, like, as my kids grow, my daughter's going to need her own bedroom, my son's going to need his own bedroom, and like we live in a three-bed house, so realistically, the room that I'm in here might have to be used for something else down the line. And I was thinking of building one of these out our back garden, and even at that, which is like maybe a 20 grand job altogether, which would be like it's a bit of a financial burden. But by the end of it, like I'd have like this room, but just outside the house, and I'd run some land down to it and stuff like that, and it'd be great. But then
Mhm.
I'd fill it straight away, you know. So it's like again, it's like I'm spending all this money to expand, but I'm still like not really getting much more space, if that makes sense. So
Yeah, like
it's tough, like you know.
it's never going to be enough.
No, Dan says I store my comics at work. That's cool. In your office, I wouldn't trust my comics anywhere else. Yeah, I wouldn't trust them. I wouldn't want them anywhere else. I'd need them close. Have you been watching Alien Earth? Yes. So to talk about the rope back into topic. Sorry, I kind of went off on a bit of a tangent there. We're going to talk about first. We'll kick in a bit of Peacemaker, and then maybe we'll talk about Alien Earth, and then I don't know if you got a chance to watch any of the Eyes of Wakanda stuff. I watched a couple of episodes of it. It'd be kind
Oh
of.
yeah, I
Did you finish
finished
it?
it.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'll definitely get your opinion on that. I think I saw the first two episodes. I think is there only four altogether, maybe?
God, I swear there were 6. I
Oh,
swear it
maybe
was a
there is.
lot.
Maybe there is. Sorry. I saw the thumbnail for episode 3 and it looked like Iron Fist was going to be in it or something. So I was like, oh shit, that seems pretty cool. So yeah, well, I'll be very interested to see what you think since you watched the whole thing. So
Yeah.
let's kick into some Peacemaker. Tell me what you think of season 2, episode 1.
It was good. I actually really enjoyed it. I thought it was like a really nice like change of pace from all of the like they still had their jokes and whatnot, but it was still a nice pace from what we saw originally. Like a lot of shit went down in the first season, and so like this is kind of the aftermath of it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I think that the retcons that they did were probably a better move than what most people have kind of taken to like kind of observe that whole retcon at the end of season 1 where you know they said took you long enough, and seeing that it was just the Justice Gang themselves, which I thought was a cool idea because like it is now James Gunn's DCU, so like it's going to be reworked, it's going to be redone, and I think doing something like that is a bold move. I think it's also a very smart move, considering that like what were they going to do with like the world knowing that the Justice League was available when in fact the Justice Gang is available.
So I didn't like that, and for the reason why I didn't like it was the way it went off, like the way that they pulled it off was how I thought it was actually going to happen originally. I thought it was just going to be kind of done and not even mentioned, and that's what we got, which I don't like. But why I hate it so much was because at the start of the episode where he goes into his little pocket dimension and then he finds the multiverse and he goes into like another universe, I thought to myself, oh, so is this how they're going to explain the DCU and the DCEU? Like maybe he steps out of the DCEU, goes into the DCU and gets lost or something. I was like, I thought that's where it was going to go. And I was like, this is actually really clever. I was like, okay, this makes sense. Now it makes sense as to why, like, you know, Superman's different and, you know, there's no Flash and all this sort of shit. But then he just kind of went back and then it's like they just changed it. It just, I don't know, man. It felt lazy to me. And like, look, I really liked the Superman movie. You know, I've got faith that the DCU is off to a good start, and I love Peacemaker, but the canon is shaky as fuck. You know, it's very confusing, and like the more you think about it, the worse it gets. Like, you know, his missus, his IRL wife is in this show, and he doesn't mention anything about the likes of Black Adam or anything like that. Where you know, in real life, that's a very controversial kind of side of the DCEU because you know The Rock came in and he tried to take over everything and you know brought Henry Cavill back without kind of DC's permission and all this sort of shit, and then you know shit hit the fan like literally. But his wife is in that movie, so it's like, is that canon now that your wife's in it technically? Like you know, like or you're just scrubbing that and just keeping what you want, and you know the people that you like and your actual friends and family they get to stay, but you know fuck the rest and you're just like slightly changing one scene to make it all work when it doesn't work at all. I don't know. It's just I would have preferred a real explanation to the retcon. And I thought when he did the whole pocket universe thing, I thought they were actually going to do it. And I was like, okay, this is actually cool. And I like this. Like, you know, let's say, because I know, do you remember in one of the trailers when the other Peacemaker's holding the gun up to his head? Like, that would have
Mhm.
been cool if the one holding the gun was our Peacemaker or something. He shoots him in the head and then realizes like, holy shit, in this world I have everything that I want. Maybe I'll just stay here. And then that's the DCU. And then like that'd be kind of fucked up. And then, maybe we go halfway through season 2 and then he realizes, actually, there's some things I miss about my world. Maybe I'll go back or something. Like he misses your one, whatever her name is, Harcourt or whatever. Like, I don't know, like I just feel like they teased us with an actual like good story and then just kind of said, no, fuck it. Or maybe they'll go there. We've only seen one episode, so I don't know. But
I mean, I don't agree with you on that. Like, I don't think it would have been a great story anyway. It's so fucked up. Like the everything is so convoluted, and I really don't want to deal with like multiple universes at this point, especially with Peacemaker, like on a grander scale. Doing this just on kind of a like a personal level between him and a universe where his family actually gets along, that's a huge thing for him, because like he's so fucked up in his original timeline that in this other universe, it's everybody's getting along. Like his dad's still alive, his brother's still alive. They're actually working together to take down, whatever it is that they take down in that universe. And it's like, what the fuck is going on? It's like they're able to handle things on their own. And because, Peacemaker is who he is, the alternate Peacemaker obviously was like, you're another part of me from a different universe, or you're trying to impersonate me. So like, I gotta pursue you. But it also showed that universe's Peacemaker was dumber, which I thought was a great moment, because like he really shouldn't have died, but like because he was tripped up by his own counterparts' ability, like, or know-how of his equipment, it just it flipped on him, and then he just died. But now that there's no Peacemaker in that universe, it's like, what are they going to do? Are they just going to go into that universe and like try to mend things? Or are they going to try, like, that's one thing I'm curious about. It's like, what did they just do to that universe by killing off a Peacemaker essentially? Did they just ruin that universe in and of itself? Are they gonna be like, is it gonna turn into like a war, like almost like an incursion? Is that gonna create some sort of like, because like there's also the, like within the trailer as well, we did see that there was that moment where like he pulls, like one Peacemaker pulls a gun on the other and it's like, who the fuck are you? That could also be a different Peacemaker. It just really depends on like what they want to do with it. It's like they could do anything at this point. And by not having the Justice League part of it, by not having like anything associated with the DCEU or Black Adam, it's free range. You could do whatever you want with it. I really don't care about the whole Black Adam thing. Like, for all I know, this could be before it could be after it. At this point, I don't care. The movie was okay. Like, it wasn't like, oh my God, it was so great. I want to learn more about this. It was okay. They did what they could with the story.
It's irrelevant now. It's over. Like it's
right.
Like there's no point in even talking about it. You know what I mean? You may as well be talking about like fucking Christopher Reeve's Superman at this stage. Like it's.
I mean, we could talk about Christopher Reeves.
Dead and buried. You know what I mean? Like the stories
I love Christopher Reeves. I love Christopher Reeve's Superman though.
I know, but he's not Superman. David Cornsweet is. Fuck the rest.
Neither is Henry Cavill. So fuck all of them.
Fuck all of them. Exactly.
Yeah.
That's the way it is.
Yes, but kind of tacking onto that, there is somewhat of a talks right now between the DCU Superman and the current Batman with Robert Pattinson.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you remember, I told you this. I said they don't go together unless it's said that they are going to go together. They're currently in talks. They're currently talking about this. They're currently going over this, and they're trying to decide whether or not they even want to be part of it. Now, if they decide no, like if either side says no, then guess what? That Batman is its own thing. James Gunn is going to have to make his own Batman, and that's going to be interesting, because I'm very much, I kind of almost want that, because I want to see different takes on Batman, because that's what I really love about all of these different iterations, all the different comics, all the different shows, is that there's always a different type of Batman as you go further along into any of the movies or the shows or the comics. Like, just like how you saw with the, like, Tim Burton's take on Batman, and you have Batman Returns, Batman and Robin, Batman Forever. Those all pretty much had a different Batman. I think there were only 2 movies that had the same Batman, right?
Two
Was it
like as in two trilogy, like two series of movies, like with the same Batman. Is that what you're
no,
saying?
no, no, no. I'm saying two movies with the same actor as Batman.
There was the Nolan trilogy, so
Well,
that's
I'm not
three.
talking about that. I'm talking about like
Oh, sorry, the Burt.
I'm
Like you're
talking
talking about
about
the older Batmans.
yeah, 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 yeah. So
So
like how
Keaton was in two movies, and then Kilmer was in one, and Clooney was
then
in
Clooney was in the last.
yeah. So,
Okay.
but
Yeah, so like
we had this conversation before, and you brought up a good point. It's like, is that Batman the same Batman the whole time, and they're just recasting? It's the same actual Bruce. And I had said to you that I had never thought about it that way before. Like, because as a kid, when I was watching them, I always just thought they were different. And then there's like such different vibes across all four of those films. Like the first two, obviously with Keaton, yes, they're obviously connected. But then I always thought that Kilmer was his own thing, and that Clooney, I think Clooney and Kilmer's Batman, I would say, are the same because they have the same Robin, right? So that would make sense. Like Chris O'Donnell plays Robin in both of those films. So that one I always thought of as a recast, but I never thought of like Keaton's Batman and Kilmer's Batman being the same Batman. I always thought they were
yeah,
like reboots or different universe or whatever, you know?
right. And the only thing that really ties it all together is the fact that they use the same actor for Alfred Pennyworth. Like it's the same Alfred throughout the entire series. So that's how you kind
Yeah.
of know like the timeline is kind of strewn that way.
Alfred's an Nexus pin. And yeah, I don't know. Like honestly, I don't know the official answer to that. I've never really like thought about it enough. Like, but I would like to find out. Like, are like, is it the one universe or what is the actual story? So
Yeah.
I'd be curious to know.
Right.
Um,
But essentially going back, like we were talking about the whole like is Pattinson going to be associated with the Superman or not? And
mhm.
because it's in talks, like it's something to kind of think about. So like do you like I prefer that it be separate only so that we can have different iterations of Batman and then we could see what they do with the is it Matt Reeves that is doing the directing? Yeah. So
Yes.
like Matt Reeves Batman is its own separate being, whereas like James Gunn has his new Batman, which could be, you know, anything that he decides to pull from it, depending on how old Superman is currently.
So my understanding is that the Batman movie for the DC is going to be called Brave and the Bold, and
Mm.
it's going to have Damian Wayne in it, who's the fourth Robin. So that would tell me that Batman has to be old. So I don't think it can be Pattinson. Now, if
Okay.
they decide that they are going to bring Pattinson in, and then the two Pattinson movies that are coming out are just DCU, they rejig it and you know do something stupid like they did for Peacemaker and just change something in the movie, and then like, hey, we're here, we were here the whole time. That thing you saw originally in the theater, forget it. That never happened. This is what is the thing. Like if they do something like that, yeah, fair enough. I don't like the idea though. Like I want a seasoned Batman. I want like that's why I like Ben Affleck as Batman because it's like they pulled from the Dark Knight Returns story where he had retired and he came out of retirement and he's older and grizzled and like it just felt better because he was just he was a seasoned Batman. Like I thought that worked really well on screen personally. Like I think Ben Affleck is my favorite Batman. And I just wish we got to see more of him. But again, is what it is. We're here. We're here now. We got to just live with it. Let's just see what happens. So um, yeah, I like the idea of like I want the Reeves stuff to continue. Love the Penguin. The first Batman was great. The new Batman, I'm hoping, is going to be great as well.
Mm.
And then even just the three of those together in their own little Elseworlds pocket would make a great little rewatch down the line. You know what I mean? It'd be a great little series to rewatch. And if that's all we get, fine, fair enough. I feel like that's probably what's going to happen if they do decide to keep them separate. Pattinson will get his second movie, and then I'd say they'll probably retire that universe, like they'll close it off, because I don't know if they're going to want to have. And again, me and you and everybody listening to this, we all understand Elseworlds, we all understand multiverse and multiple versions of the same character, but trying to explain it to normal people, it's like, hey, why is there two different Batmans out there? Like, and where's Superman? Why is he not in this? Like, and like, where's Guy Gardner? Where's the Green Lanterns and all? Like, I think you confuse the normal audience a bit when there's like potentially two different Batman movies coming out within a year of each other or 2 years of each other. So it gets a bit messy in that sense. And I think what James Gunn will probably do, he'll either integrate it or he'll let it run its course and then it gets replaced with his Batman. That's what I would say will happen. I don't think they'll have the two of them running at the same time.
And that's fine.
Yeah, yeah,
That would give
it's
them time to kind of
one way
cook
to go.
something up for the new Batman,
Yeah,
if that's the case. Yeah.
like if you know about Batman, like the Bat family is incredible. Like, and if you get a story developed where like Nightwing's already fully established, you've got the fall and like revival of Jason Todd, and he becomes the Red Hood, and then he starts going out and making his own team, like the Outlaws and stuff like that. Like all that shit is incredible. The whole Batgirl story is amazing. Like you can do all the shit with the Joker where she gets paralyzed and she becomes Oracle, then she comes back as Batgirl again, and you know what I mean. Like there's so many cool stories, and then Damian is the son of Batman, and his grandfather is Ra's al Ghul. So like you have like a trilogy nearly there that you could just go straight off, even just that story. Like that's incredible. So
Mhm.
you know what I mean. Like you do the introduction of the first one, maybe you introduce Talia and the whole love triangle with Catwoman and all this crazy stuff, and then the movie ends with her saying you've got a son or something, and then the next one they do a time jump or whatever, and then it's like, here, you take your son, he's 13 now or whatever, and then he gets trained to become Robin, and he's like a lethal assassin, but he's a Robin now as well. Like it's great. I love Damien as a character. It's
Mhm.
great. So yeah, I'd love to see all that in a shared universe. I think it'd be great. And then you get like maybe a Nightwing TV show, Red Hood TV show that's rated R, and it's like, because he's just such a vicious character. Like like they could do some really cool shit. Like Red Hood would fit in perfectly with like Peacemaker and stuff.
Exactly. Yeah,
Yeah,
I agree.
yeah. So we've got promise. Like I think the DCU, it's off to a good start. I have nothing really bad to say about it. And I think, yeah, like world's our oyster here. You know what I mean? Like there's endless possibilities. I really want to see what they do with like a Flash or something. I don't know. Like there's lots of whispers that potentially you could see the Flash from the TV show, Grant Gustin. You could see him return. He's been through the multiverse already, so they could easily just like spit him into the middle of the DCU, and it's like he just time traveled here. You know what I mean, or whatever. Like his world got destroyed, and he just shows up here, and you know what I mean. Like he's already interacted with the movie Flash anyway, so
Mhm.
you know what I mean. Like it could so easily, like you don't even need to explain it. You could literally just drop him in, and everyone would just lose their shit. They'd be so happy to see him. So if I was James Gunn, I'd be going down that road. I know Grant himself has said, make the call. I'm happy to do it. Like he's dying to come back. He would love to play Flash on the big screen. So I think that's an easy win. We obviously have Jason Momoa returning as Lobo. He's going to be in next year's Supergirl movie. The Lantern show is out next year as well, which I think is going to be good. We're going to get a Jon Stewart and a Hal Jordan in live action. Then obviously we've got Guy already, who's been showing up in a few projects. So like, by this time next year, we have a well-established Green Lantern Corps. We have Supergirl, Superman, Lobo. Like it's great. It's crazy to think like 12 months into it, we're gonna have a lot of characters already established. Give us more Mr. Fantastic as well. Like he was so good in that movie. Yeah, yeah. It's all green ticks for me.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. So
Excuse me.
when does because I think don't the episodes come out on Thursdays, or do you guys get them on Wednesdays?
Yeah, there should be one out today.
Yeah, you're in the past. For me, it's Thursday. Yeah, so you get an episode tonight. We record these podcasts live on a Wednesday night. Wednesday night for me, Wednesday afternoon for you. So yeah, it's like when we do the HBO stuff. It's kind of our podcast is on, and then a few hours after we talk about this, the next episode comes out. So unfortunately, it won't be next week until we talk about episode 2. But I'm looking forward to it. I'm going to be watching it tomorrow straight away. I'll probably try and watch it on my lunch break, or the second I get home from work, I'll try and throw it on if I can. Like I'm very much looking forward to seeing where it goes. They haven't lost the shock factor. Obviously the big orgy scene in episode 1 was mental. I don't really know how else to describe it. Like the comedy's still there. I feel like they didn't really use what's his name again? Vigilante. They didn't really use him too much. Like he was a massive part of season 1. And I felt like again, maybe they'll use him more as the season goes on, but we didn't really get to see much of him. I was looking forward to seeing him. He's like one of my favorite characters in season 1. So I was hoping we'd get to see more of him in season 2, but they kind of wanted to focus obviously on Peacemaker himself, and then they seem to be focusing on Harcourt or whatever her name is. Is her name
Mhm.
Hargrave? Harcourt? Whatever her name is. Yeah, so she's kind of going through some shit right now as well. I presume he's gonna go back to we'll call it the happy universe, like where his family are all together and stuff. I presume he's gonna go back there. I wouldn't be surprised if he spends an episode or two pretending to be that version of Peacemaker and meeting up with the missus and stuff like that, because it looked like he was married to her and they broke up or something. So I wouldn't be surprised if we start seeing alternate versions of them and stuff like that. But yeah, I have no idea where the season's gonna go. It could go anywhere, you know.
Mhm. No, absolutely. Yeah, like, well, he's definitely gonna have to go back because I mean, he just killed that
Well,
universe's Peacemaker, or
you,
that Peacemaker might just be out.
it wouldn't surprise me if they just didn't even reference it again. Like it's the type of show where that door could just stay closed and we never hear anything of it again. Like that could very easily happen. Like that wouldn't bother me at all.
I mean, that's
Peacemaker went to another universe. Yeah.
yeah,
Did you watch the episode
essentially,
then? Essentially, I think he did. Yeah, I presume.
yeah,
Like it's that because again, like I in season one when we see like his little like pocket universe thing that his dad developed or whatever. Again, it's not really ever spoken about or explained, but I always kind of just thought like, yeah, it's just like a little storage thing. But then obviously he opens another door and ends up in a different universe. So it's obviously a pocket to the multiverse, which is crazy. Oh, Dan hasn't seen the episode. Sorry. Yes. Spoilers. You're 31 minutes into the podcast, but yes, spoiler alert. I don't know if you have any interest in even watching the show, Dan, but it's good. It's good. It's definitely worth watching. It's definitely worth watching.
yeah. No, like they're definitely gonna have to deal with it because what's gonna happen is the father and brother are gonna be wondering where the fuck their brother went, and they're gonna essentially like want to find out what the heck happened. And so either he's gonna have to impersonate that Peacemaker for the time being, or or they're gonna go and visit his world essentially
Yeah.
and find
Did
out
you?
that, oh, he's
I
gone.
I saw this like memed about on Twitter the other day, but did you know that James Gunn was married to Jenna Fisher, who plays Pam in The Office?
Yeah,
And
yeah,
I never knew that they were married. And then it's like the balls on James Gunn to be hiring his ex-wife's like TV fiance for a role in his first show and all. It's like because like obviously Roy from The Office is Peacemaker's brother, but
absolutely, yeah.
yeah, that's hilarious. I thought that was funny. Obviously, I don't really know anything about the relationship or anything, but funny, funny either way.
Uh, yeah, a lot of people were saying like, oh, that's silly, but a lot of other people were saying like, oh, that's fine. Like, nope, like they had an amicable separation, so it's not like they were essentially it wasn't a bad breakup essentially.
Mm, that's nice.
Yeah. So
That's what you want.
it works out. And plus, like, the guy who plays Roy does a pretty damn good job actually.
He's a good actor. He's a good actor. I think obviously you're meant to hate him in The Office, and he comes across as a bit of a dumbass in the show and all that sort of thing. But he plays the character well. But I've seen him pop up in a few other things, and the dude's able to act.
Yep. Yeah, like he pretty much does act like a bit of a meathead in The Office. But like later on you kind of run into him again.
Oh, when
And
he gets his life together and he's like married to somebody else and all.
I
I
think
remember that.
so.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
but there was also an in between where like he kind of showed up and he was trying to get Pam back.
yeah. I do remember that as well. Yeah, like
Yeah.
he was still kind of himself then, but then you meet him like 3 seasons later, and he's like, I think Pam's gets invited to like his wedding. And then she's like, "Oh,
Yeah.
I kind of have to go just to be polite or whatever." And her and Jim go, and he's a completely different person. White picket fence, like kids on the way, like big like job, wearing a suit, like look at he's like sharp and everything. Like it's like, who the fuck is this guy? Yeah, it's funny. It's funny, but like that, it perfectly proved the point that the two of them weren't for each other, you know. And
Right.
then they both went and found their person, and it just made them both all better people, like which is like you know proof that when you find the right person, like it benefits everybody.
Oh, absolutely.
Do you want to talk about it? Did you watch any Alien Earth actually?
No, no, no. I didn't watch any of that.
So I can't really speak too much about it. I'm not a big Alien nerd. If Sharky was here right now, she'd be able to tell us everything, but I'm not a bigger Alien fan, but I'm watching the show. I'm liking the show. It's made very well. Like it looks great. My lore on Alien isn't very extensive, but from what I've heard from other people talking about it, apparently they're like by the time the show's done, they're gonna kind of like retcon some of the like Prometheus stuff and Alien Covenant, and like they're the ones that I actually like the most. So it kind of sucks for me because like I really like those movies, but I think they're trying to maybe line this show up a bit better with the original movies. And this show takes place 2 years before the original movie, so kind of makes sense. Um, the surround sound. What does he say? The surround sound of the last episode shook my house. Which part was that, Dan? Was that the part where she starts speaking like the alien or whatever, like making the noises and shit? It's like, yeah, so basically I think trying to like Star Wars this up, like I think what they're trying to do is they're trying to make a prequel, like do the prequels in Star Wars, but kind of forget about the sequels, if that makes sense. Like let's pretend the sequels were like before like a shitty version of the prequels or whatever.
Mhm.
So I think they're trying to get rid because basically the first two Alien movies, from my understanding, I watched them when I was like 10 or something. I was way too young, probably didn't understand what the fuck was going on, but it was one of those movies I watched as a kid when I probably shouldn't have been watching it. So, and I never really watched them again after that. So I actually do need to go back and rewatch the original movies, but the first two I think are kind of universally known as the best ones, and the second two are kind of shit. And then I think in like, it's kind of like the sequels in Star Wars. But then what I think what they're trying to do is they're trying to just tell a good prequel story. But they did the movies like Prometheus and Alien Covenant, which in my opinion were really cool movies. I really liked them. But now I think they're trying to like kind of retcon them. So I don't really know. Like there were 4 episodes into the show now. I think episode 4 only aired today. I watched it about an hour and a half ago. It was good. It was really cool. Like they did basically the story of the show, just a very quick kind of overview, but the show takes place on Earth, obviously, Alien Earth. It's called. The show starts off, and you're on board of this ship, and the ship's been going around the galaxy collecting alien specimens, like samples of like different species of aliens and stuff. And basically,
Mhm.
they're gonna bring this ship back to Earth, and of course. Shit hits the fan like just as they approach Earth, and the ship ends up like crash landing on Earth. One of the eggs ends up like creating a xenomorph basically just as the plane's about or plane keep saying plane just as the ship's about to crash. There's a xenomorph on the thing going around killing all the crew and everything like that. There's one dude who's on the crew. He's kind of like half cyborg, half human. He ends up staying alive, but the thing crashes. But basically, Earth is split into like 5 districts. So like all these like rich billionaires and trillionaires have basically just like kind of like in the way Marvel in Battle World did it with like the different sectors, like like Hulkville or whatever. There's like these of different factions of like these corporate like entities who have basically just run these 5 different sectors of the world. So basically,
Mhm.
the ship lands in the Prodigy or region, but it belongs to a different company or whatever. So they're trying to get it back, but the Prodigy guys are like, it crashed in our city, like, we're going to keep it or whatever. Then they realize what they actually have on the ship, which is all these alien things. But the Prodigy gang is ran by this dude who's like the youngest ever trillionaire in the history of Earth. He's this like genius, and he's created basically what they're calling them like synths, but they're basically like human children who are basically terminal, and then they die. But what they do is they transfer those children's conscience and everything into these robots. So they're like basically robots, but with human minds, the minds of children. And then,
Interesting.
yeah, it's like this is what I'm kind of enjoying about the show the most, honestly, is kind of watching these kids kind of grow, but they're in like kind of young teen bodies or like sorry, young adult bodies, and they've got like super strength, they're super fast, they can absorb information, they're like they find out that they can like scan textbooks and like just instantly learn the information and stuff. So they're learning different languages, they're learning different skills and stuff. And then like they're super strong, they've got combat training and everything. So like they're basically like fucking Terminators. And then they go the trillionaire basically sends them into the crash site, and the main girl who like is the first one born, she's kind of like the leader. She calls herself the oldest one, but they're all just kids. And she's going in with like a sword on her back and stuff, and shit goes down, and she ends up like chopping the head off the xenomorphs like straight away. But what pissed me off, this was at the end of episode 2. What pissed me off is they actually like didn't show the death. It was like behind a closed door. I was like, oh, for fuck's sake. It reminded me of Moon Knight, like when they go to black and we miss all the action. Like they're in the middle of this fight, and she ends up throwing him like over this like collapsing door, but then she gets sucked in as well. And like her brother's standing on the other side of it, and all you hear is all this banging and stuff. And you're like, oh, she's dead. But then like the door just opens and you just see the xenomorph like chopped in half, and you're just like, oh, for fuck's sake, we didn't even see it happen. Like, because like for the whole thing, I was just like, I can't wait to see her fight, because it was kind of like at the start of episode, like she was standing on the top of a cliff in like episode 1, just like meditating or whatever. They're like, okay, you got to come in or whatever. And she just jumps off the cliff and lands on her feet. I'm like, holy shit, superhero landing, I was like, holy shit, this is cool, man. So yeah, like I think the show's got promise. The first couple of episodes, I think they released 2 in the first batch, and then it's been 3 and 4 week by week. So next week will be 5. First 2 were like interesting but a little slow, and then I think 3 started to kind of build up, and 4, you're starting to see some stuff happen now. It's been a little slow, but it's been interesting and intriguing, and I do want to see what happens next. So I definitely will be watching more of it. But yeah, I think check it out. Check it out if you're looking for something to watch. Maybe try watch episode 1 with the missus, see if she likes it, and away you go. Then that's usually how it works for me. Yeah, because it's like, again, well, obviously with the kids and everything, if the 2 of us don't like the same thing, I kind of have to try and find my own time to watch it. So it's harder for me to binge stuff, because obviously, most of my free time is spent with her. Otherwise I'll have to like resort to kind of watching stuff on my lunch breaks and work or stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I'm lucky that our tastes are so like in sync for most of it, that like, most stuff that I watch, she'll sit and watch it with me, like, and she does genuinely like it. So
gotcha.
Yeah,
well, that's good. That's always a good thing.
Yeah, big time. It's the same showrunner as Legion. That's interesting. That Legion show was crazy. That was really good. I really like that. Yeah, it's good. It's good. It's good. They're using like some of the original sets from the original Alien movie. I think like Ridley Scott like tweeted out, he's like, hey, that's like the set from Alien 1 or something. Like he was watching it and noticed straight away that it was like one of his sets. So I love that attention to detail. Like that's important in my opinion, especially when you're telling like a prequel that's so close to the original. I was kind of scared when I started hearing that they were like retconning and stuff. Like it's not usually a good word when you hear it. But yeah, so far so good for me. And again, I'm a normal fan, so I'm probably missing a lot of the little nods to the movies and stuff like that. I know I was talking to Sharky briefly, and there was like nods to the first and second movie, I think, in the first few episodes, and it all just went over my head. I'm just I'm a normal fan in this one, so, but my virgin eyes are enjoying what I'm seeing basically. So it's good. It's good. I recommend.
That's great.
Yeah, talk to me about Eyes of Wakanda.
So it is only 4 episodes from what I took a quick look. Yeah. So, how much did you watch already?
I've watched half. Then, if it's only 4, I've watched half of it.
Gotcha.
So I watched the first 2. I can't really remember. Again, I watched them back to back, I think. So, the first episode was about if I'm not mistaken, was the female who she was like infiltrating the dude who was like pretending to be like a Greek god or something like that, and like he had Wakandan tech. He was like an ancient Wakandan, and then she was like a banished Dora Milaje, and then she basically earns her way back in by the end, and she like loses an eye. She gets the eye patch and stuff. That was episode 1, right?
Yeah, I think they're regarded as the war dogs.
Mm-hmm.
So the Dora Milaje is like a different subset that I think exists further in the modern setting.
Okay.
Whereas the war dogs are a beings that are like thousands of years in the past. So the idea is that these characters all all are trying to retrieve these ancient artifacts that have either been stolen or have been used in war. And the first episode is based on like this guy who essentially wants to be free of all that. He doesn't want to be part of like just Wakanda. He wants to kind of like expand and do more and become a god essentially. Um, which, you know, not a strong start in my opinion. I think that a lot of the dialogue that happens in the first episode is very weak. It's not memorable, and it's actually eye rolling. Because there's all these moments like that happen where it's like they're doing the typical Marvel shit again. They're like, and what I mean by that is that there's a moment in the first episode, if you remember, like I think she crashes into the water after falling off the boat or something like that, and then she gets up and then she's like, "I almost died," and it's like, really? Do you have to tell us that? Like, we know we saw that. Like, we don't need the obvious. We absolutely do not need you to state the obvious. We don't need you to express yourself as like as if you're talking to the screen and going, "Hey guys, I almost died."
Yeah.
It's like it's
just
so
in case you didn't know.
fucking just like shit's serious. Be serious.
Yeah.
You're trying to survive and get the artifact and leave. So when like after that first episode, I was like, ugh. I gave it a couple days. I went back, watched the second episode. The second episode is actually my favorite episode. It's actually a really good episode that they did, where it was basically during the war on like what Troy.
Yeah.
With the so we had like the Trojans.
Yeah.
It was the Greeks and the Trojans, right?
Yeah.
And so like that whole
good.
situation was really cool. Like I thought that it was really cool that they integrated like one of the Wakandans into the group as like as a double agent essentially, like just working with them, but also like working for an ulterior motive. But it was never in malice. It was just to reclaim an artifact that they were missing, because like Helen had it on her neck. Yeah. And so like that makes sense. But like the idea behind that is like the whole betrayal and, you know, seeing the historical setting for it and how they did the Trojan horse, which I thought was really cool.
Yeah.
I think they kind of yucked up a little bit on the whole, like them getting drunk and like, you know, shooting the shit. I think they could have toned down that a little bit, but other than that, like that makes sense. They were given a gift. They were, you know, basically said like, "Oh, we surrender. Here's a gift. Here you go." And then like, you know, of course they pop out and start killing everybody and just reigniting the war essentially. Mm-hmm. But then you see like by the way, none of the Wakandan characters have memorable names. I don't remember any of their fucking names whatsoever. It's so bad. It is so hard to remember them.
Yeah, I don't either. No
idea. But like no idea whatsoever. Yeah. So like you know, this agent comes in and he takes the necklace and he tells Helen and his like beloved to basically go get out of here. I'm not here to kill you. I just wanted the artifact. And then you see Achilles come in and it's like, oh shit. So he's not going to believe, you know, what they've been through was for like, he thought that it was a betrayal in the sense, but he's like, no, all I wanted to do was just take this artifact back to my homeland.
Yeah.
But everything else was like for real. Like I was trying to help you. I was trying to be your buddy. I was trying to like, you know, work with you through war. And he was doing it for 6 years. And it's like, at some point you do develop like a friendship or a bond with the people that you work with. So it's not like he did it for nothing.
Oh yeah. And I thought and like 6 years in war is probably like 20 years, like in like an office job or something, like, you know,
yeah,
like that's proper brotherhood, you know?
Right. So like this whole situation just collides with itself. You know, you see that the character's name is Achilles, and of course, like at the end of the battle, fucking slices off his heel, which I thought was a perfect way to like kind of represent that, and also like he just wouldn't stop. So eventually, you know, the dude just had to take him out, and it was kind of sad actually. Like I was like, fuck, this guy like really believed that he was just being helped by this guy and bonded with him and thought that he was betrayed, and it was just like such a cool moment. Mm-hmm. Because it's like, then the guy goes home and he's like, I don't want to be part of you guys. I think I want to do my own thing. And he's like, and they were like, that's fine. Um, if you want to do that, can we still give you assignments essentially?
Yeah.
And it's like, if you want to go and explore the world, we will give you assignments where you need to go explore the world.
Yeah.
And he thinks about it. I think he says, I can't remember if he says yes or no, or if they left it ambiguous.
I think
Like
he goes back out, right? That's
yeah,
I'm
like it's
pretty sure I remember him going back out at the end. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure too. So like that's like the coolest part of it. It was like as fucked up as it was, he's like, just send me back out there, man.
Yeah.
And it
like,
was
I
just
thinking about home the whole time I was away, and now that I'm here, I want to go back out.
right.
So,
And so
yeah.
like such a good moment. And I thought like that's a great episode.
I love that it was the girl from the first episode was like the elder as well in the second one.
Yeah.
That was cool. I like
so
that.
like
Well.
it just it kind of moves forward and like okay, so now it's starting to get some traction. Third episode, do you care about like spoilers at all?
No, go ahead. Go ahead. I will watch them. You might be selling them to me to make me watch them quicker. Go on.
So the third episode I thought was interesting. I think it kind of ran into a bit of a trope though, because it both involved male and female like Wakandans.
Right.
Or not, well, male and female actors essentially. And so like you have the male Wakandan sleeping with a female, I think Chinese woman.
Right.
And then like essentially getting an artifact back and then taking it back home. And then all of a sudden,
what year is it set?
I don't remember, to be honest.
Is it like old times again, or is it like a big jump? Does it start getting more modern?
It starts getting like by the time you get to the fourth episode, it's like 500 years before modern times.
Okay. Yeah.
So it's getting closer.
Right. Yeah.
And so like you essentially see that like he brought the artifact home. He's chatting with people, like they're talking about all these different things about like you got to be careful when you're going out there and whatnot. You know, that whole trope. Then like the alarms go off. It turns out that there's a person with an Iron Fist mask like going about and attacking the area. Cool. And it turns out to be that lady. She's like a previous Iron Fist, which I thought was so fucking cool because it's like, okay, it's because it can't be Danny Rand. Like it's way too early. Yeah. So like she's in there, she's fucking kicking ass, and she uses her powers a couple times, which I thought was really cool. Of course, like she can't use it fully because if she did, she'd probably fucking murder them.
Oh yeah.
And of course, the Wakandans have their own technology, so they're able to like withstand things whatsoever. But essentially, because they were together at one point, it was like, hey, I trusted you. We like had a thing, and you took the artifact. Why the hell did you steal from me? And he's like, you don't like. It's another you don't understand kind of situation, which I thought was a little lazy. But like this time, it was a different kind of like outcome where, it turns out that the artifact wasn't the headpiece that he stole. It was on the tongue of the headpiece.
Okay.
So she wasn't pissed off that he took the artifact. She was pissed off that he took the whole head because that was their artifact.
Right. Yeah.
So like that was a cool moment. It's like
mixing
like had you right. She's like, had you told me, I would have helped you.
Yeah.
And like that makes total sense. But what kind of fucked up that scene so much in just a fucking line was, you could have told her this and she could have helped you. And it's like, she just said that, asshole. Like, why are you saying this again? Why are you repeating the same thing that was just mentioned? We're not stupid. Like the lady said it. Does another person need to say, you could have made this a lot easier? It's like, dude, that's not the point. The point was them talking about it, not you, asshole. And so like it just it fucking bugs me when that happens because you know it's like they had already said that. I don't need to hear it again. Anyways, goes on. Their leader comes through because they start hearing all the noise. The alarms are going off, and then basically they let the girl kind of like hide in the background while they explain like, oh, it was just a test. Like it's fine. Like everything's cool. Like just a safe face. And then the lady comes out and she's like, give me my helmet back. Like basically give me my Iron Fist helmet back.
Yeah.
And then I think that's kind of it for that episode, which I thought was like, it was good. It just had moments here and there, which were just like, if a couple of lines had not been there, it probably would have been like a really good scene for a lot of these moments. Also, in my opinion, the third episode had the least effective acting whatsoever. It's the worst voice acting I had heard.
That sucks,
It
man.
is
'Cause when I when you open it up on Disney Plus and you see the thumbnails of the episodes, I saw the Iron Fist mask, and straight away I was like, "Oh, I can't wait for episode 3." I was hoping it was going to be the best one.
the Lady Iron Mask, like she knocked it out of the park. I enjoyed her shit. Like she did really good job. Her voice acting was spot on. You could tell that the voice actors that were trying to portray Wakandans had a were reading from a script. It's like, you cannot take this item. Oh, I can't take this item. It's like they're not speaking fluently. It's not like a conversation that you and I are currently having. It's like I could say something and then you could follow up like right afterwards. They're just like, Pinto, how was your day? And then like 5 seconds later, my day was good. How was your day? It's like, oh, dude, it's taking me out of this. Yeah, it was like really odd. It was awkward and it was just uncomfortable. I was like, were they just kind of coming in on the day? They were like not having a good day and they were just like, I'll just read the scripts. They'll prompt me and then I'll go for it.
Man, like voice acting obviously in anime is so important, like, because you don't have real faces for emotional attachment, like, so you really got to rely on the voice, and if it's not good, I zone out straight away. I'm just like, oh, this is just terrible. You got to hear the passion, and like the animation style in the first 2 episodes I thought was quite good. Like when I watched the first trailer, I was like, I don't know how I feel about this, but because it's a very kind of weird art style, but the more you watch it, I found the more you kind of just got used to it, and it was nice. Like you got used to it very quickly, and I did enjoy it. But yeah, no, the voice acting's got to be good. Got to be good.
It's got to be fluid. Like it can't feel like you guys aren't in the room. It's got to feel like you guys are like absolutely right in front of each other talking. Yeah. So like, that's the end of that episode. The last episode, which I think is, in my opinion, might like it's good. It's not as weak as like the first episode, in my opinion, is the worst. Then the fourth episode, then the third, and then the best one is the second episode. Essentially, in the fourth episode, it's like they steal the artifact. If you remember, is the fucking the axe that was stolen by Killmonger.
Yeah. I saw there was like a comparison. There was like an exact shot from Black Panther 1 in the anime somewhere. Maybe it's at the very end, or maybe they explain where the axe ends up at the end or something. But I believe you do see a drawn version of that scene at the very end of it. Yeah.
Right. So the last part of it is basically a prince, one of the princes of Wakanda, with I think one of his companions or guards or something, and essentially like they're out on the battlefield and they're looking for this artifact. They find the artifact. They start working their way home. And then a rift opens up, and it turns out like somebody comes through and they start fighting, and then eventually it's like, hey, stop! I'm not trying to attack you because we're both Wakandan. And they're like, well, then who the hell are you? It's like, I'm the current queen of Wakanda. It doesn't say, they're not saying who it is. They're just saying like, I'm the last Wakandan royalty. I am the queen. And I was with the Dora Milaje, and some shit went down in the current timeline where we had this invasion of like these highly intelligent beings that essentially were just wiping out the entire world. And the only reason why we couldn't win was because Wakanda stayed isolated for its time being, because it was never like Wakanda was never designed to, or like never wanted to interact with the outside world and like help them out. They only did their own thing and kept to themselves. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, cool, okay. And it's like, so why are you here? It's like, oh, so I have been searching for an artifact that essentially is in the form of an axe. And so when I went to episode 1s and found it's not the axe, I went to episode 2 and found out it's not the axe. I went to episode 3 and found out that it's not the axe. And then I finally come to you and you have the axe. And the only thing I ask of you is, can you please return the axe back to where you found it? so that you could save the timeline, because we are waiting for a person who is a false king to come and claim it
Gotcha.
and start a feud within Wakanda, so that we need to combine our forces and become part of the world.
Oh wow.
So
It was
basically,
destiny.
yes,
Black Panther was destiny.
they basically were like, Black Panther is so important. The events of Black Panther are so important that we had to make a 4-episode series explaining how important it is that that axe was stolen by Killmonger. And it's like, oh, I hate you. I fucking hate that. It's so bad. It is so bad.
Yeah,
It is.
I don't know.
And so she's like, oh, I gotta go back to my timeline. I've been here too long. And then she gets pulled back, and then they're in a fight, and essentially,
Does she look futuristic? Like, is she from?
She's fully clad in like the Black Panther armor, essentially. But it's
from the future, like our future, even further.
Yes, essentially, like that's kind of the idea. But
Okay.
well, actually, let me pull that back. She's not part of our timeline, because in the actual timeline, they're connected to the world now, right? With Wakanda. So Wakanda opens to the world. This timeline is close to it.
It didn't happen. Yeah. Gotcha.
So like their tech looks different as well, so that's fine. But like essentially, she gets pulled back, and then they're fighting off the things, and she's like, I have to go back. I have to get, because she didn't really get a chance to convince them fully to return the axe. And so like the prince is like, I have to return the axe. And they're like, why? It's like, because she knew a lot about the family. She was legit a Wakandan. She's like, how do you know that? It's like, because the queen is pregnant with another child. And it's like, okay, all right. So like, they're like, all right, let's go back. So they go back, and then they have their tiff with like whatever is around. I can't remember who they were fighting in that war. But essentially they were trying to return the axe. Some of the dumbest fucking soldiers whatsoever. I don't know if they were out of bullets or what, but they never fired a single fucking bullet. They could have ended the life of those fucking Wakandans easily. Like, they were aiming, and they had the shot.
Yeah.
And they fucking like they get whipped by the guard, and the guard saves them. And then the prince is about to be attacked from behind, but instead of being attacked by a shot, he like takes the fucking rifle and tries to smack him with it. I'm like, are you out of bullets? Like, can you at least pretend to fire and then try to attack, so that we're like, because it really felt like it was like, okay, you guys are just making it so easy that nobody has bullets. Apparently nobody has bullets anymore.
How long was the fight beforehand? Maybe it's like too realistic and they just ran out of round.
It was a couple seconds, man. I don't know. Like, I can't tell, dude.
It's either too ridiculous or too realistic. It needs to be in the middle,
Yeah, it's fucking.
We're watching anime here. We're watching a fantasy here, so yeah.
So cool. Weird, man. Well, like, they go, and then the guard gets stuck under some rubble because like an explosion happens, and then it's like, go put the artifact back, and he does, and then the guy's like, I guess this is it for me. I'm not going to be able to return home, because that was the whole spiel, was like, I just want to go home.
Yeah. And
then the prince comes, is like, you think I wouldn't come back for you so you can go home? And it's like, okay, cool. Like, that was cool. That was fun. Then you see like the aftermath of the lady. She's, with the Dora Milaje. They're fighting off the thing. They're about to go through the portal, because the portal's open now, and they're about to go into the past.
Do they explain the portals or anything, or is that just like future Wakanda tech we don't need to know?
Yeah, it's just future Wakanda tech that they created so that they could go back in time and try to fix whatever it is that was going on.
Casual.
Yep, essentially.
Yeah.
And it's just like, I think it's weird that they went through the other episode timelines parts, because they knew that it was the fucking axe.
Yeah.
Like, why would you, like, do you not remember the year? Like, you're Wakandans. You take everything into consideration. You take notes for everything that's happening. So unless you like, it would have been nice if they were like, we had records of where the axe was, but we just didn't have records of where they were, or the records were destroyed before we had a chance to find out what era. And so we finally got to this point, and so now we're checking with, like, it would have been easy, like a better way to explain that way. But it's like, no, we just kind of poked our dick around until we figured it out. And it's like, Ugh.
Do you see them go back through all the episodes you just watched as well, or is that just implied?
Yeah, she
You don't,
mentions it. She
you don't see
mentioned
it
she
happen.
mentions it, and then as she mentions it, it'll show like where she was standing to
Okay,
like observe where the artifacts were.
gotcha.
And it was like, all right, whatever. But all in all, that episode was pretty good. It was more of like an eye roll because it was like, did you really have to connect everything? Can't you just make it its own thing? Like, that's the one thing that I really don't like about Marvel right now in terms of all these shows is that like when well, not all these shows, let me reiterate, in terms of shows that shouldn't have to connect, you know, if you're just going on a era or year by year basis for Eye of Wakanda, that's cool. Just show me things, show me artifacts and things that they were going for. Because then at that point, you can make it into a full on series if you wanted to. You can make it to where like this episode they're going for this artifact in Indonesia. This episode they're going for an artifact that's in like in Russia. Like they could have made it into like a full on like interesting kind of like Jackie Chan Adventures when he was going after the different talismans.
Yeah,
And like and then like you can also make groups that are also going after the artifacts and whatnot. Like make it into like its own thing. Don't just seal the deal and go, that's it for Eyes of Wakanda, guys. Thanks for watching. It's like, why? Why did you do this? And that's how I felt about like What If. What If should have just been a like kind of like Supernatural Monster of the Week.
yeah,
It should have just been Monster of the Week. And I would have been
yeah,
happy with that.
yeah, yeah. I agree. What was I read? Oh, I was you brought up What If there, and I thought of The Watcher. And when I was away on my holiday, I was like, I'm going to bring 3 books with me to read. I only read one, but I read the paperback for Secret Invasion. Oh, it's so good, man. Like I remember you telling me to read this like back when the show was on. You're
Yeah.
like, it's so much fucking better than the show. Like, and I'm
So
reading
much
it, and
better.
like it's so confusing as well. You're reading it, and you're like, hang on, there's like this was a scroll the whole time, and all. Like it's like you get really confused reading it. I'm like, holy shit! Like it's just like so back and forth and everything, and like it's brilliant, absolutely
Do,
brilliant. But the
you
bit
remember
with
the scene?
Spider-Man where he's like, that can't be that bad. The Watcher's not here. You know, he only usually watches when shit really goes down. And then the second he says it, he pops up. I was like, oh, for fuck's sake. So funny, man. It's great Spidey comedy.
Like you've seen the panels where like Tony's like freaking the fuck out and he's like, I don't know if I'm a scroll, and they're like, you're not a
Yeah,
scroll. And
yeah.
they're like, you're not a
What a
scroll, you're
mind
not a
fuck.
scroll. It's so
Yeah.
fucking
And
crazy.
then Spider-Woman's like, you know, oh, we had to kind of put you in deep cover, and you know, you've done amazing work for the
she's
thing. And like, it's
fucking
like,
with them so
yeah, she's
hard.
fucking with him so hard. Like, and then you're like, oh, he is a scroll. And then they just, who is it that pops in to save him? I can't remember. Oh, Natasha.
Oh,
Natasha.
yeah.
And she's like, no, Tony, I swear you're just sick. You're just sick. She's poisoned you and all this stuff. And you're like, well, I'm reading. I'm just like, I think I was like sitting by the pool reading it, like, and I'm like shaking my head. My miss like, what's wrong with you? She's like, I was like, this is incredible. I can't believe how good this is. Like, I'd give anything to watch this movie. Like, you know, it was just so fucking good, man. It just like, you know, when you read a story like that, that just reignites my love for comic books. Like, you know, it just reinforces like why I buy comics. Like, you know, it's just like, oh, this is it. Like, this is beautiful. I can't remember where I saw it. I was watching a stream the other day and they were talking about comics. I wasn't speaking or anything in the thing I was just watching, but they were talking about comics and how, like, you know, young people don't read comics anymore and how the comic industry is probably going to die in a couple of generations because people will just lose interest. And I just sit there reading that. I didn't even want to comment on it, but I was just sitting there and I was like, oh my God, I pray that that's not actually true. But realistically, it probably is. Like, there will come a time where they won't be able to sell enough to be able to keep printing them. Maybe they'll have to do a flip to full digital at that point, maybe, or something. But sad times, man. The physical page, like, there's nothing like picking up a comic book. Now, I prefer to read the actual single issues. Like, that's my preferred method, but I don't mind reading like a paperback of an older comic run if I didn't get a chance to collect it singly. But reading single issues is where it's at, in my opinion. Like, I love cracking open a fresh comic, and oh, it's amazing, absolutely amazing, dude.
The I think the part like, did you finish it?
I think I just have to read the final issue. I think I'm on the final issue.
Okay.
Yeah.
The whole situation with like wondering who's a scroll and then finding out, like, was it is it Sue's baby?
Jessica Jones.
Jessica Jones, yeah, like, and
Yeah.
just like
When she
for the
sees Jarvis and she's just
yeah,
like, no, and then she just like rips off straight away. She's like, I left whatever the kid's name is. I left him with Jarvis, and it's obviously a fake Jarvis. You're like, no, yeah, because she's
yeah,
like, and you just again like you just feel that raw emotion, and you're just reading a fucking page and looking at a drawing. Like it's just incredible storytelling, man. Like when and it's magic, man. It really is. Like I just
so
love
good.
comic books so much, man. I really do. Like it's if you can like really get into a comic, like there's nothing like it. And I read comics really slowly because I love to just like take it all in, and I nearly like try and act out the page like in my head. And like I'm reading each bubble, like, and I'm trying to like, if I'm reading like a Batman comic, I've got like Kevin Conroy's voice in my head and everything. Like, I'm trying to act it out. Like that's how much I love it. Like, so it's harder for me to read. I can't just like read the bubbles and move on. Like I got to look at each panel. I'm taking in all the art and trying to act it out and make the panels move. Like in my head, I'm trying to make the panels move. Like it's beautiful. It's beautiful. I love it.
I agree.
Yeah. Do you have anything you want to bring up?
Ooh, God, I thought I did, but
Did you see?
yeah, I
I don't
thought
know.
I.
I don't know if
Oh,
we spoke. I don't know if we spoke about this, but did you see all of like the set photos from like Spider-Man filming in Glasgow? Was it Glasgow?
I saw a few bits and pieces.
Man, like I'm trying to scroll back. Yeah, I found it. There's a picture here. I'll pull it up on the stream for a second. This, in my opinion, is one of the coolest things that I have ever seen in my entire life. Like,
Ooh.
that is one of the coolest fucking shots ever. And that's in the middle of like Glasgow or wherever they were shooting. I can't remember where they were shooting. And like, obviously, these are all the extras, I believe. And they're all just fans. And like, that is just mind blowing stuff. But the point I was going to make was like, it's incredible to see all this stuff. Like, usually everything's closed off and it's all secretive and stuff. But I feel like they've been releasing this stuff on purpose, and in doing so, have created a hype for a movie that I haven't seen in a while. Like everyone's like theorizing already. I've seen people like scoopers and stuff breaking down like the suit and everything like that. And I don't know. I just feel like the vibe for this one just feels a bit different. Like, they're shooting
Mhm.
Doomsday right now. Everything's very secretive. And, while that's kind of fun for scoopers and stuff like that, I think if you're not really in that loop, like you kind of don't really know what's going on, and you just kind of, you just wait to hear something official, or maybe you don't hear anything and you just watch the movie. Like I was sitting watching TV with my girlfriend tonight, and I saw a tweet they were talking about, like, Chris Evans is starting to film for Doomsday, and Hemsworth has just finished. And I kind of said to her, "Oh, the two of them aren't going to be in a scene together in the movie, obviously, because one's only starting and one's finished." Like, and she's like, "I hate that you know all this stuff. Like, it's like, can we not just watch the movie?" And I'm just like, I'm like, obviously, I'm very much ear to the ground, and I love like the making of these films and stuff. But yeah, it's just like for Doomsday, you're not seeing shit like this coming up. Like,
Mhm.
it's like people are like breaking down all these little like intros and stuff like it. It's like clearly this is a different suit because like this line isn't in this one and stuff. And you're just like, this is some hardcore nerding, man. And I love it. I love this meme as well. It's so good. But like, yeah, like clearly this suit here was like from the original teaser that he released. And then he released this video, and they're two different suits. So they're like two different suits, guaranteed. It's like, I just love it, man. Love it. And then like all these behind the scenes shots, like we're getting to see some like stuff that looks like it's pulled out of the games and everything. Like that's just incredible. I love it.
Mhm.
It's and I think they should be doing this stuff way more regularly, involving the fans more. Like Tom Holland going out, and I don't know if you saw any of these videos, but like he was like going up to fans who were like standing around trying to watch them film, and he was like, greeting the fans and everything. Shit like that just like makes a film like that. So like when this movie drops, imagine all those people that were there. Like imagine being like a kid that actually got to like shake Spider-Man's hand on the side of the road, like while they're filming that movie in your city. Like imagine how special that film's going to be to that kid for the rest of his life. Like you're creating core memories, like, and I think that shit's just really, really important. And I just love that they're doing that for this film. And I think they need to be doing this more. I think you need to like reignite magic with movies. Like there's something's missing in the last couple of years. Box
Mhm.
offices aren't doing what they need to be doing and what they should be doing. And I think stuff like this is going to really change things. Like I really feel like this Spider-Man 4 is going to be a massive success, and I think it's because of shit like this. I really do.
Oh,
Like
absolutely.
you're creating spectacle. You're creating like special moments, and like people now, anyone from Scotland or the UK or anything, are going to be like, this film was filmed here in the UK, we got to go see what the final product looks like. You're creating that buzz a year and a half before the movie comes out or whatever.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think it's marketing genius, and I think Marvel need to be taking notes, and they need to be doing this shit more often for sure. 100%.
Yep.
um did I see anything else? Oh, actually, I saw this clip. I don't know if I sent this to you. I probably did send this to you on TikTok, but I'm not sure if you watched it or not. But I thought this would be a cool one to bring up for the listeners here as well. I was watching. There's these guys that have a podcast, who have Sorry, let me see if I can pull this up full screen. Oh yeah, here we go. These dudes, they run a podcast. I can't remember the name of it right now. But basically, they they had a guest on who's, I think he actually is a writer or something, but he gave a great pitch for the X-Men. And I wanted to play this video for you just to see what you think. Hang on. What am I doing? I'm having a brain fart right now. It's getting late. It's getting late. Hang on, let me just move this over here for a second. There we go. Sure. Okay. I don't know if you've probably seen these two guys around before, like on TikTok and stuff. Maybe not.
No, I haven't seen them before.
Okay. This guy's the guest here. This dude down the bottom left, and this guy pulls out like some serious fucking shit here. Can you hear this?
No, it's very quiet.
Yeah. Okay. Try again. Better?
It's a little bit better. Can't really hear them at all, actually. Is there any way to turn the audio up?
Yeah, I don't know what. The audio's perfect in my ear, but for some reason it's not. This fucking StreamYard shit. It's in Discord. If you want to watch it, it's in the Marvel section of my Discord. It's a great video. The pitch is mind blowing.
Yeah, I'll have to check it out.
Yeah, do. It's probably in your inbox. I probably sent it to you along with 50 other TikToks over the last couple of weeks. It's a really good pitch. He basically pitches the first 5 characters of the X-Men into the MCU, and just basically says he doesn't want Wolverine to appear in a movie. He wants him to have like his own series, and basically each episode is like a different decade. So like episode 1, whatever, 1950s or whatever, and then get to Days of Future Past and try and sync it in with the movies then and do time travel in a different way and all this stuff. And it all sounds incredible. It really does. And he wants to give like Storm her first appearance be a solo movie and all this sort of stuff, and really like kind of do something
Yeah, it wouldn't
different
be
rather
against
than
it.
just doing, because I feel like the X-Men, while I love pretty much all the X-Men movies, like, they all kind of feel very similar. It's Charles in the school and everybody's together straight away, and it just kicks off straight away. And this would be a very different take on it, and it would be a cool way to introduce it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
it's funny because the guys, like every pitch he kind of drops in it, the guys are just like losing their shit. They're like, "Oh my god, that sounds so good!" But I think this dude works. Does some work with DC and stuff. So, he's pretty good. He's pretty in there, like, with DC. So he's like, he's joking. He's saying like, I'm not exclusive to DC Marvel. I can work in many writers' rooms. Just give me a chance now. But yeah, it's good. Yeah, audios. Sorry, it was perfect in my ear. It'll be funny now when I'm listening back on this. I'll probably be like, Jesus Christ, what the fuck? I don't know why StreamYard does that. It's very annoying. But anyway, is what it is. Are you around next week?
Yeah, I'll be here.
Cool. So I'd say next week maybe you'll be caught up with Alien Earth, and we can maybe talk a bit more about Alien Earth next week. Well, you've kind of got 4 episodes to watch, and then by the time we sit down next week, 5. Peacemaker episode 2 will be out, and yeah, just keep your ear to the ground for nerdy news and stuff like that. I appreciate everybody who's listening to this. If you made it to this far in the video, thank you very much. Make sure you hit the like button. If you're listening to us on a replay, leave us a comment below. Let us know what you think. And we'll see you in the next one. Thank you to anybody who was here live as well. Dan, Griff, everybody. Thank you.
Yep.
Later, guys.
Thanks,
Have a good
everyone.
one. Bye-bye.
Have a good one.